So Real Madrid through to the Supercopa final once again to face Barcelona. We welcome in from Saudi Arabia, Gemma and Mario Suarez joins us. Luis Garcia is with us as well. Nicol and Craig, of course, in the studio. I really want to start with this Vinny stuff because I love it. It's brilliant. It's such a great soap opera. We'll talk about the game in a moment, I promise.
But in Xabi Alonso's world, that's the sportsmanship and all that, and that's kind of in some sort of fantasy world, because I understand that you're trying to.
This is a given. You don't have a problem with it.
No, it's not a given because not everybody operates in that way. But there are people who are in the game now and have been in the game over the years who try and find a way to put your opponent off. And at the end of the day, Vinicius at the moment has the last laugh here. Because Atleti are not going to win the league. And I would turn around and say, well, hey, you ain't going to win the league. And you're definitely not going to win the Supercopa because you're out and you're on a plane home. So you can give it back. And so, look, is it the perfect world? No, but it's a manager having banter, if you want to call it that, or a to and fro with a player. And I don't have an issue with that, because if that's me on the sideline, Simeone's getting it back both barrels. Right. It's just part of the mind games, to me anyway.
Stevie, when you were on the sideline, would you do that?
Can't do it. It's not right. I love the patter. It's good patter. It's funny. But when you're in his position, or any manager, you can't do that. I mean, not only are you going against Vinny, but you're going against your opposite manager. So it's a complete and utter no-no. Shouldn't be able to get away with it. But I do find it funny, but you shouldn't be doing it.
Right.
Shouldn't be doing it. It's really simple. You can't do that and shouldn't do that.
So you never have managers stood on the sideline slaughtering other players, both their team and the opposing team.
It's happened before, it's happened today, but it shouldn't happen. You shouldn't. The position you're in, you're the leader of your group, your team, you're the manager. You have to show some respect, and you're certainly not just disrespecting Vinny, you're disrespecting the other coach as well.
Mario, you played under Simeone, of course. Does this sort of activity surprise you?
Well, it's not surprise me. It's not what we are used to seeing from the sideline, as you were saying. But he's like that. He did it because he knows that he can disconnect Vinicius. We don't know what Vinicius said to him, because in the substitution, he said something to him also. And in that play when Simeone talked about Florentino, I agree with Xavi that you cannot do anything in football or everything in football. But I cannot have a better opinion than, because it's not normal, but I don't know what Vinicius told him back, so I don't know all the history or the real history.
Thank you very much, former Atletico Madrid player, Mario Suarez. Much appreciated. Luis?
Yeah, I don't understand, Mario, what he's trying to say. We all agree that managers or coaches shouldn't address to the players that they are not on their charge. I mean, I can talk whatever I want to my players, but getting involved with the opponent is not the right thing. Today, we saw something. I had a manager before that he used to complain so much and talk to all the players that they get closer to the sideline to try to put the focus out of the game. And sometimes they work and some other times not. But definitely as a player, I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. So I prefer to see a manager that is focusing on their things. And today Simeone tried to take the focus out of Vini Jr. because I think that he knows how important it is for Real Madrid. And at that point, again, I agree with Mario. We don't know if he was first one Simeone or he was first one Vini Jr. because they were very close. Vinicius Jr. was right on the edge of the line, and Simeone exactly out of his zone of coach. But definitely it's something that we don't like to see, and normally we don't see much, but today it was on prime time, and well, we enjoy it. It was funny, but again, also as I agree with Steve Nichols, we don't agree with that way of behaving.
Well, nothing says 2026, 2025, probably even 2024, probably even 2023, probably even 2022. Nothing says recent history like, everybody's upset. I mean, come on. I mean, it's part of the game.
Gemma, you've sat on many sidelines, watched many games over the years. Is Simeone unique, or do we see this a lot more than maybe we think?
He's got this kind of temper. It's not the first time he does that on a game. There was so much tension, I think so much frustration because his team were playing better. They should have scored more, and it's not the first time they change words in a spicy way against Vinicius Junior. I think he lost his temper, and I think it was not useful for his team at that point because Vinicius was already leaving the field, so it wouldn't help, but it's a temper that Diego Pablo Simeone has. And what I was most surprised is that the stadium, who were all the time clapping for Real Madrid, they decided to woo, to whistle to Vinicius. When Mario said that he changed words before with Simeone, we don't know what he said that, but then the stadium decided to woo at Vinicius, and I think that's remarkable because on the last 3 home games, I'm going to call this stadium a home game because 95% of the fans were Real Madrid supporters. They booed Vinicius Junior, who is in a strange situation at Real Madrid, 16 games without being able to score a goal. It's true that he contributed and his team being on the final, but again, controversy regarding Vinicius Junior and of course Diego Pablo Simeone.
Was of course the perfect start for Real Madrid as we focus on the game. You were talking when we were watching that Sorloth has got to take responsibility.
Well, I was interested in his interview at the end there, and he said we should have scored more goals. I remember you should have scored more goals. You should have been more clinical in the final third. And when we look at this from the second angle, and look, I get it, you know, Valverde's one of the best strikers of the ball in football, but as a wall, you can't turn side on like that because if he stays square on, it's going to hit him in the stomach, right? Now, is that going to be sore? Is it going to wind him? Is it going to send him to the ground for a minute or two? Yeah, it is. But there's no way that ball, if he stands square and doesn't sort of do that, there's no way that it's even getting through, as good a strike as it was, to Jan Oblak. That's the whole point about having a wall. So when you go back in the dressing room, and you know, we've all sort of at some point in our career probably winced a bit from when you're in a wall. And when something happens when you do that, i.e. it goes in, you just don't want to be the guy in the dressing room that has to put the hand up and say, oh, by the way, I'm the coward. I'm the one that wasn't prepared to take the ball full on. And if we're being honest about it, that's what happened here with Sorloth. Now, when he turned away, he probably wasn't thinking that this free kick was going to be as good as it was, but the camera doesn't lie. He did not stand up to that free kick, and that allowed it to squeeze through with the pace that it had that left Jan Oblak with very little chance of making a save.
Mario, do you agree? Do you blame Sorloth for that?
Yes, of course. Maybe also Jan Oblak could put one more player on the wall, but if Sorloth stays just in his position, that goal will never exist.
Oblak to blame a little as well, Stevie, for his wall position?
No, I don't think so. No, because
but he's right. Mario's right though. He should have probably had an extra body in the wall.
It's so far out, isn't it?
But, yeah, I suppose. Yeah,
we're going away from the facts. The facts are if Sorloth had stayed strong, the wall that he put up would have been fine. You can put 10 people on the wall. If they all go sideways and get out the road, you can't blame the goalkeeper. So I don't blame the goalkeeper.
Luis, who are you giving the blame to?
No, we mentioned just half-time. I think that Sorloth should have to stay. I mean, when you decide, when a person that is in charge of deciding set pieces and deciding who is all going on the wall, you know what kind of player you put on the wall. I wasn't a player who was going on the wall because I wasn't one of the bravest. I know that if a ball comes to heart, I'm gonna give my back. I'm gonna turn my back. So they knew, my managers knew, my coaches knew that I couldn't be on the wall. So when you put a player on the wall, it's because you know their strength. And we are talking about a 6'3", 6'4" player, strong, that is used to battle with tough defenders. So a ball, I'm sure that he's not scared of. I'm not sure if it was just a reaction of seeing the ball coming to you, because you can see that he's turning around and also bending because he can see the ball arriving to his stomach. So I don't know what happened in that situation, but you should be focused on trying to stop that ball, not turning around.
Wait, Luis, how did they find out that you weren't worthy of the wall? Did they just kick balls at you?
No,
and see what your reaction was?
Oh, because I used to jump a lot when players are coming around to chase me, so yeah, they knew that I wasn't the bravest.
I'm not the bravest. Don't put me.
Yes, don't put me. You'd be in the war, wouldn't you, Stevie?
Oh, why?
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's not going to make a difference to him, is it? Look.
Gemma, after the game, Xabi Alonso was talking about Kylian Mbappe, of course, missed this one because of injury. What's the latest there?
Well, if he's fit, he's been tested by the medical staff of Real Madrid, and if they consider that he could be able from the bench or from the start to play. Let's remember that he got a sprain in his knee, but it was not as serious as they thought. So there is a chance that he travels. He will probably travel, and then Xabi Alonso will decide if he plays from the start, from the bench. It would be, of course, a luxury revulsive for the game. I think with Gonzalo, they found a team with more balance because he works a lot and he brings quality as well on the final third. But having Mbappe in the bench against Barcelona can be a super thing that Real Madrid can do for this final. That, of course, they will not have as fresh legs as Barcelona.
Yeah, it does look like he's going to travel tomorrow. If he travels, he's going to play on Sunday.
Yeah, and I mean, well, we've seen him play in games when he's not been fully fit. We saw him play in the Copa del Rey game against the lower division side, which was a risk. So there is an element of risk. This is flying out for one game. It is a final. But there is a bigger picture here as well, the second half of the season. The season that has started, second half that is, particularly well for Xabi Alonso. A win in the Madrid derby here in Saudi Arabia. A big win against Betis at the weekend with Gonzalo Garcia's hat-trick. So there's a title race at play here as well as a Supercopa. So it is a big call because you don't want, as good as the young man has done, you don't want to rush him out, play him in the game, and then he's looking at 6 weeks because that could cost you the title.